You have the look of victory about you. Tell me, were you successful? Most impressive. I'd say you've certainly made your ancestors proud. Good thing, too. Wouldn't want any unhappy spirits mucking about Hakoshe. They'd bring all sorts of misfortune. Quite right. It's part of why honoring our ancestors is so important. Happy ancestors gift their descendants with good fortune. Wrathful ancestors, well, they do just the opposite. They curse us with misery, desolation, even death. Yes, death. Of course, you'd need to perform a great dishonor for such a punishment. Not that you have to worry about that. You've proven both your reverence and strength. Now, it's time to test your wit. Head to the town square and speak to Valoria. Don't dawdle now. The proof of wisdom awaits you back in Hakoshe. The Akaviri have always placed a great emphasis on martial prowess. The proof of strength shows our ancestors that we remain strong and are prepared to face any danger that may befall us. The greatest. Akaviri warriors are known for both their might and magic. It was only because of their aid that General Riemann was able to pacify all of Tamriel under his rule. Why, it was Akaviri who founded the Dragon Guard. Proud warriors who formed the Dragonborn Riemann's personal guard. Unfortunately, they seem to have disbanded after the Akaviri potentate fell. I still think they're around, though, waiting for their moment to return.
Why, if it isn't our town's mysterious stranger. Magnet Fena Derak told me all about your participation. Have you completed the first 2 proofs? Excellent, excellent. Then you are ready for the proof of wisdom. I am most useful when empty. I am most generous when full. What am I? Of course. What better way to show your wisdom? The riddle describes one of the items on this table. Choose the correct item and bring it to me. Only then will you pass the trial. Best of luck, dear. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Throughout Akaviri history, the proof of wisdom has been performed in a number of ways. Scholars draft grand essays, writers compose ornate poems, philosophers perform lengthy debates. But for Hakoshe, we went with riddles. The people of Hakoshe are simple folk, and our great scholars are few and far between. A modest trial keeps morale up, while still honoring our ancestors. However, we did get a few essay submissions for the Magnate to review. Of course! Just like the rest of her family. Every Akaviri text we have is safely contained within the Magnate's home, and she makes sure to study them. Even teaches the young ones a bit of the language. I am most useful when empty. I am most generous when full. What am I? You've returned. Tell me, what item did you bring? Yes, that is indeed the answer. Oh, I'm just so happy you guessed correctly. I was a little worried my riddle was too obscure. I had hoped Magnate Fena Darak would provide a riddle, but she's had her hands full with the festival. Poor thing. She just has a lot riding on her shoulders. We're all seeking to honor our ancestors, but the magnate's ancestors are a bit, harder to live up to. I'm sure it's created a good deal of stress. May your ancestors be pleased by your actions, traveler.
Enjoying the festival, are we? I'm sure you've heard a great deal about Akaviri culture today, but tell me, did you learn anything about the Magnate herself? Everything you've learned seems to support the rumor. A descendant of the Potentate would certainly be given such privileges. However, my investigation calls for more concrete proof. A document would be best. I've made some inquiries of my own. It seems that Magnate Fena Darach has quite a few records in the cellar of her home. We'll need to break in and search her documents. We need a key, and I'm positive the captain of the guard carries one. If you would do me the kindness of chatting him up for a bit, I'll do my best to obtain the key. Should all go well, we'll be in and out before anyone notices. Very well. Let's get moving then. As an agent of the Morag Tong, my grandfather had the honor of executing the last remaining heir of the Akaviri Potentate. But here's the tricky bit. My grandfather and the heir both disappeared during the attempt. If Magnate Fena Darach truly is the descendant of the Potentate, it proves without a shadow of a doubt that my grandfather failed.
Did you hear what happened in Aldcroft? They killed the Duke. Greetings. Say, aren't you the traveler who joined the Proving Festival? Are you now? Well, that's certainly an impressive feat. Honestly, this whole affair has been nerve-wracking for me. I'm not too keen on dishonoring my ancestors. Who knows what misfortune would befall me? To be honest, barely. The first two proofs were easy enough. Threw a paper lotus in the river, grabbed a sugar daisy for Vecdrasi. But that last proof, well, it stumped me. Couldn't for the life of me figure out the riddle. I'll admit it, I had a little help. Magnate Fena Darach gave me a hint. She's a gracious lady, our Magnate. Always helping out folks in need. I'm not sure how Hakoshe would fare without her.
Glad you could make it. Quickly now, let's head inside. Well, that's certainly odd. There must be something here to take down that barrier. I'm willing to bet those tablets would fit rather nicely into these sockets on the floor. I've generally found that... Well, that certainly wasn't right. Care to try again? Looks like that did it. Let's head in. The magnate left a letter on her desk. Interesting, don't you think? Seems this letter confirms that the magnate is descended from the potentate. What a pity.
Just what are you two doing here? Get out at once!
Traitor! How dare you claim to be of my blood?
What? What's happening? Please, no!
Vegetal. Well, it seems we've confirmed that Faina Darak is a descendant of the potentate. Just in time for her to be whisked away by some vengeful spirit. Just my luck. Isn't that part of the Akaviri's beliefs? Disrespect your ancestors and they'll have their revenge. And given the spirit's armor, he was definitely Akaviri. Huh. Makes me wonder what the magnate did to deserve such a fate. I'm not sure, but it's as good a guess as any. Given the turn of events, we'd best go after them. Perhaps the local tombs? If I know ghosts, they don't often wander far from their graves. Some Akaviri is so upset with the magnate that he's returned from the dead. And if I'm to see this investigation through to the end, I need to learn why. Let's head to the tombs. It's just east of the town square. Can't miss it. At least we have someone to search. Not much, but I'll take it. Clever. No wonder Nayu likes you so much. I will say that it is in the Morag Tong's interest that this matter be settled. We take great pride in the fall of the Akaviri potentate. Best not to have that history tarnished. That's not the Morag Tong's concern, now is it? My investigation is still ongoing, however. Speaking of my investigation, shouldn't we be going? Who knows what sort of misery the magnate is going through as we dither on? Glad you could make it. I see them, just up ahead.
Still you hunt me, assassin scum? Was my death not enough?
This disappearing act is getting very old, very fast. He seems to think that I was the Mer who assassinated him. Could be a simple case of mistaken identity. After all, my mother always did tell me I bear a striking resemblance to my grandfather, Methisdarum. As a member of the Morag Tong, my grandfather executed a great number of people. But, given the location and the armor the spirit wears, let's move ahead. I have a feeling we'll get our answers soon enough. Best if we split up and go our separate ways. Proconsul Balorin Kai, I presume?
Very good, assassin scum. You and your companion have been most insistent. Come, let us speak. Fena Derok has called my spirit to judge her. By her quill, my name was written. By her hands, the paper lotus placed. And so I have come to punish her wickedness. And yet you try to stop me. Who are you to deny me my revenge? When I escaped Cyrodiil, I had but one man to protect me. Someone I placed my utmost faith in. My utmost trust. Lieutenant Line Bardwick. But when it came time to guard me from my Morag Tong assassin, my protector fled. Yes, though not before I was able to inflict a mortal wound myself. Both I and my assassin died that day, but not Line Bardwick. He looted my corpse and claimed my name. It was he who founded Hakoshé, not I. Her family continued to spread the lies of my betrayer. For centuries, they have proclaimed themselves nobility. But all they have inherited is lies. She must renounce her title and tell her people the truth. Only then will I be content. Go then, and convince Fena Derok to speak the truth. Only that will save her. The Proving Festival is a time for the Akaviri people to commune with their ancestors. Not only does it allow the dead to view the living world, it also invites us to cross over. Fena Derok called me to judge her. I have come to do so. And so I did not kill her, as I attempted to kill Line Bardwick when first this festival was held. My lieutenant also summoned me by our ancient rites, though he did not realize this. I was compelled to cross over and judge his wicked ways. Line Bardwick was a strong mage in his own right. He cast me away. For centuries I have waited for another Proving Festival, but I suspect that Line Bardwick took precautions against my return. But now, at last, the truth can be revealed.
I can't believe it. The founder of Hakoshé, my ancestor, he lied? You don't understand. To admit such a horrid truth wouldn't just dishonor me. It would dishonor my entire family. All of my ancestors, who have done such great things for Hakoshé, they'll all be disgraced. How can I do that? No. I don't want to keep lying. The citizens of Hakoshé deserve nothing but my complete honesty, even if it comes at the cost of my family's reputation. I'll do it. Ancestors, forgive me, but I'll tell everyone the truth.
I'll be watching, Fena Derok, waiting for you to speak the truth.
I'll keep my word.
Well, seems like it's time to get going then. I'll meet you in the town square.
I shall see if Fena Derok honors her words. Only then can I rest.
It seems my investigation has come to an end. The rumor was false, my family name is cleared, and no one even needed to be executed. A happy ending all around, wouldn't you say? The Morag tongue isn't one to leave loose threads, even one that's been dangling for over a century. Luckily for Fëanor Darach, my grandfather was able to complete his writ. Here, a reward for services rendered. Now, despite our daring rescue, I'm certain the Magnate doesn't want a member of the Morag tongue hanging about. Though it does look like she's about to make her big announcement, doesn't it? Well, perhaps I'll stick around long enough to watch. The Morag Tong is an organization of assassins. Agents are assigned writs of execution, perform said executions, and then go along the merry way. That's the long and short of it in any case. I'd ask you not to compare us to those lunatics. Our practices, morbid as they may seem, are perfectly legal and keeping with dark elf traditions. I kill only who I am sanctioned to kill. If I had to. My preference was always to prove this rumor false, of course. Still, a writ is a writ. If my grandfather failed to do his duty, then I would have done it for him. Simple. My grandfather was following a writ which called for the death of Potentate Severian Chorak and all his heirs. Had Fëanor Darach been a descendant of the proconsul, her execution would also fall under this writ. Naturally. I'll let the Morag Tong know your feelings soon as I'm back in Morrowind. I'm sure they're just dying to hear your opinion.
My family has long claimed to be descended from the Potentate. But this is not the truth. The man who founded the town, my ancestor, was a traitor. He betrayed Proconsul Baloran Kai and stole his name. My family's legacy is only a lie. I revoke my title as Magnate. And should you decide it, I will leave Hakoshe forever. This dishonor is mine to bear. And I accept it.
No! We still want you to be our Magnate!
You're an honorable woman, Fëanor Darach.
You deserve to lead this town.
Everyone, thank you. Thank you so much.
Finally, I am a vet.
Chimera's waiting for you inside. If the dragon circling overhead spots us, I'll try to drive it off.
Zamorak will assist.
Yes, I'm sure your fists will make all the difference.